Blaze is out there for the first time. Oh my God! No! That looks familiar. Okay, so it's another day with the Dingo. We had some good succession towing with the trailer and actually giving a small little test drive at the last car show. We got another one coming up and maybe a parade. I'm not sure which one I'm taking this year, so but that's for a video for a different day. First and foremost, we have some new tires that I wanted to install on the Dingo. So I got these S-tread or V-tread tires to put on here, and then down the road we'll get a matching pair for those, but I think those have just a little bit of life left in them, and you know, tires and mounting are pretty expensive. I also wanted to work on the electronic side of this cart here. Now I also got to fix the kill switch because the wire kind of interrupted from its tubing here from being unloaded or something, but that's okay. I wanted to actually get rid of that kill switch anyway. It works for what it needed to, but I want to be able to have a better electronic system on here, which is what some of these parts are on here for. Now, I'll quickly address the elephant in the room. This I'm gonna have to save for later because unfortunately with this Tillotson, it is a Polestar 212E and it's not the Electric Start 212EE. I want to try to see if I can convert it somehow without having to replace the motor in its entirety, because it's already got the internal mod work now with the governor, even though I'm probably going to get into the casing later for another upgrade I'm going to do later. But I was hoping that I might be able to find a replacement cast aluminum flywheel and a set of charging coils to go in there and the starter motor, and then I work on the actual electronics portion from that, so that I can basically have what I have over here. That will be a story for a different day, but we have this as a placeholder for the future being. I also want to explore making another gauge cluster for the Dingo, but I need to have some time thinking upon that as far as what it's going to look like, where it's going to sit, and whether or not if it will affect my field of view and point of view. But that's what we'll cross the bridge when we get there. For the short time being, I have this cheap engine hour tachometer that I'm mixed about because of its discrepancy in reading the signal, but it gets the job done either way. Basically all it is it's a O-ring style that kind of loops around the hoop. I've got the cable managed out, and it has the grounding clamp that secures on the back of the spark plug wire, and it gives a somewhat accurate reading, but I would think that trying to go for a Go Power Sports tachometer later would be best for the temporary time being. Now I also got this universal brake light switch. We'll have to fabricate a little tab and hook it up to our brake pedal down there so I can couple it up with this ATV light that I bought as well. On the back of it I have this test piece that I 3D printed just to make sure I've got my profile and the hole spacing right, so then I can mount this piece that I water jetted earlier this week, and that will replace the taillight that I had here. No fault in this design. It was pleasing to the eye, but I had a change of thought, and I also want to try having a set of or an actual brake light, and I don't know how I would have been able to do that sufficiently with a 2-pin, where I probably could have done a resistor on the main signal and then the full power coming from the brake light switch and then have some diodes. I didn't want to deal with that one. I've already got the package deal sitting over there. So we'll cut this off, and then this is going to go in its place, looking something like that, looking rather snazzy, and then that will be that. Of course, we're not going to be able to have power for this whole thing without this battery tray that I designed here. Now, I think I messed up on one of my dimensions because the battery that I have for it is the same one that I have for the Drift Trike, a 12 volt, 10 amp hour battery. And I will show you, for those that are curious, hey, what battery are you using for the electronic start kit? Well, this is it right here. 12 volt, 10 amp hour, model number VT12B-4, located at our local battery shop here in town. So there's that. So battery tray is going to sit on the passenger side of the vehicle. I made these little offsets for cosmetic purposes. The idea I have is that it will get welded on somewhere right there, and then I'll have some rib nuts clamped into those holes so that I can thread in some 1/4 inch bolts with that little clamp bracket, and then that will be that. And then last but not least, I mentioned I wanted to change the kill switch, so I'm upgrading from a 2-pin to this universal 4-pin key switch right here, so that I can control separately the main power that goes into it and also the grounding for my motor as well. There's no specific color code combination, but that's something I can easily figure out what was what. I think it looks like the wiring itself is actually the same, or the color coding is the same as it was on the Drift Trike. So if I'm not mistaken here, correct me if I'm wrong, or I'll find out the hard way. The green and the black and white stripe is our motor ground, and our positive red to our negative black is our main power source. So let's figure things out. Let's get to it, I suppose. All right, just with that little upgrade, this dingo's looking about half times better, even though we're now having mismatching tread, but we still got a long way to go with this thing. So there's always room for upgrades and improvement, because I've got more and more floating ideas in my head down the road and how we're gonna have some fun with this. Not into the hole. There we go. Ah! Good idea, but you know, I have something for another project or put it elsewhere. Ah. There we go. Okay, I made some adjustments and I think I got it right after I stopped the video. So essentially, I cranked the motor. And I hold the other end of this to ground on the chassis, so when I temporarily pump the brake, it will give us a signal that we need. So I was doing that to test how much throw I'm going to need on my spring there, and if anything I can readjust it and cut it down to final length afterwards, but that essentially will give us our signal that we need for our taillight. So without that, if I don't pump the brakes, I've got no kill switch. But we're not going to self-explanatory pump the kill switch to that brake pedal, but we're just kind of doing it for testing purposes, make sure we got everything calibrated. Score one for the boys back home. Now, alrighty. Ugh. Awkward one in position just so you can get the best shot. If you appreciate that, smash that thumbs up button. I'm at a point now where I guess I need to start wiring some of this together here. I've got everything mostly in place. Everything's been installed as you've seen. I've gotten back from the hardware store and I can get my battery installed whenever I'm ready. And I took a minute to actually reverse engineer this wiring harness that came with the front headlights here. And essentially, what I can understand is I've got to change out the ring terminals to put those on the battery. And then I've got my inline fuse, which came with a 15 amp fuse, which is nice. And then everything runs appropriately in this relay. The ends of these plugs here go into the front headlights already, and I actually broke into them because I need to tie in the rear tail light here, but I know where these go. Unfortunately, it's just a positive and a negative, so I believe as long as I have it connected with these terminals, I should have a closed system here, which is pretty interesting. Might actually make a chassis ground later, I'm not sure just yet, but with the way everything's gonna be wired here, I think I will see what I can do about tethering everything in to the harness here. But my yellow is my brake, my blue is my running light, so I gotta cheese the blue in there and then hook this yellow up to the brake switch, and yeah, let's get started. As far as mounting the other components, I don't think I've got a drill bit or a step drill bit big enough to poke a hole and make a bracket where I want to mount the key switch, so I may or may not have something ready for that yet. But I can always water jet a piece or CNC plasma piece in the background and figure that out. The one I'm curious about though is how in the world I'm going to be able to mount this guy up. I'll look online and see how other people are doing their actual off-roaders, because this is something you don't really mount this kind of system to, so we're kind of custom adapting. But if either way, I'm thinking what I might end up doing is 3D printing something that slips this profile into the part and then loops around this small little piece of tubing here, and then a nut that will kind of that will basically clamp this in place. May have a little bit of rock, but depending on how I set my tolerances, I can basically, or now thinking about it, I can two-piece it and have two screws coming up into some threaded inserts on the other side too. So that way I can get it. Think of the split shaft collars on your go-kart axle, and that's essentially what I think I'll be making here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get things mocked up, wired up in place, and then tackle it from there, I guess. Okay, I'm at a testing point where I can see if the brake light switch works. Now I'm gonna have the actual brake independent from this main system, so that it's like a real car. You get in, you bump the brakes, and it makes the brake light only go. So in theory, if I press the brake, I got a brake light. I just need to, there's a dead spot and then full brake. Okay, which more than likely I'll be tapping the brakes anyway, or the brake pedal in all the way. If I wanted to, I can always adjust my brake switch spring appropriately. And in fact, I might be able to loosen it up actually, so I can be able to pull more in a rough sense. But that's what I wanted to see. So that can be all kind of finalized and soldered in and stuff now. Okay, let's see if something will catch on fire or not. I've got everything closed up, wired up, ready to go. Now it's a matter of whether or not I did it correctly or not, but we shall see. Okay. So the working theory is I have to turn on two switches. The main key switch, which is our general power, and then the actual fog light switch for this to work. But I still should be able to power the brake light, which I can. Good to see. Now let's make sure we are in the oh. Okay, that spoils it. Okay, I guess my switch was on. So if I rock that off, turn the key on, nothing. Okay. So the main key is on right now. If I turn on this switch, I've got front lights. My little LED light bar lights up, and I've got a running taillight. So then if I brake, lights up a little bit lighter. Alrighty. Beautiful, okay. The motor will run. I've got power in my system still. But if I turn it off, everything turns off. Yes! Okay. This is the wiring system as it is going to be for now until we add more to it down the road. But we've got the fun essentials from back in the day when, for instance, Bandit over there just had the core essentials of a headlight and a taillight. Or, well, two taillights technically before we got all complex with the tachometer and the push button start, the electronic start and all that. So that is a good sign and also a good cue for me to start doing some cable management, which I will spare you guys the runtime on the video, and by the power of video editing, we shall see everything managed and we shall see everything loomed all good to go. Abracadabra. Okay, maybe that didn't work. So I'll have to use one of the older tricks in the book. And just like that, she is all cable managed and ready to rip. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I actually had some chunks of loom left over from Operation Fat Tire that have been donated generously to the cause to make this look very OCD/aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Got that all set up to an extent over there. I got two separate looms here, one for the main power supply for our lights and the other one solely for the kill switch itself. Now this guy I can't really control. This is the given length I've got for my little makeshift tachometer, but essentially here's the lay of the land. We have two positives, two negatives over there. One positive, which is our yellow wire, it goes directly into our brake light switch, which that outputs out to our brake portion here. So this is isolated separate from our main power over here. So no matter what I do, if I've got electrical power, I can stomp on the brake or I can tap the brake and it will give us a little brake light. I adjusted the positioning of the switch, so now it's a little bit more sensitive, so you don't have to mash it all the way to brake. And then the ground runs back to one of our grounds on the battery. The red wire feeds into our complete relay overhaul mess here, and then the rest is just carried out with the supplied wiring harness from the headlights. With the fact that after the signal pin is recognized on the relay, I tied it into the running line of the tail light there. So that's where all the wires in the back come from. They run down and they go to our running light here. So there's that fun little ball of wax. But in order for us to get power, this key needs to be in the on position. And when we're in the on position, we will be able to have spark with our Tillotson motor and be able to run the motor. So if I turn this on, I've got no power, but if I flick this button, I've got front lights and I've got a slowly emitting tail light there. If I turn the key off, however, everything shuts off. But if I turn it back on, everything is back on and running as it should. And the nice part of it is my little LED light bar glows in blue, which is a nice little touch, but that is that system all good to go. And then just to prove the kill switch works, I think you've heard this before already, but for funsies, we'll do it again. Go. And then there's our tachometer to some extent. It's variably accurate, but it'll work for what it is, and it's a very temporary measure. I might, again, get a different tachometer down the road, but just to give a little bit more of a tour now in the cockpit. So I can get in with my feet. I gotta watch my right foot on that one wire, but it's something I can't really help. So this is about what I see here. I could come down here and basically I 3D printed these two housing mounts for my key switch and my light switch here. There's a little gasket on the back side I used as a rough reference to get a prototype and before I actually printed the final piece. But I used some heated inserts to drive in some M6 hardware into this boss here, and then I have appropriate caps to hold these in place. Now dimensionally it is not correct, but it still works for just pinching on here with just some hand tighten torque. It doesn't really need to be tightened down, and it's really helpful style holding it in place. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So I can move my hand to my right side, turn the key, pop my lights if I wanted to, and be ready to rock and roll. Which camera doesn't do it justice, but those lights are pretty bright. So that's what we wanted to see. Blaze is out there for the first time. It doesn't sound that bad from a distance. Whoa. You're doing okay so far, it looks like.
What was that?
You're doing okay so far, it looks like.
All right. I mean, it's... God, this is a lot of fun.
That chain is flapping. Sorry, I'm watching where my eyes are in relation to the camera. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. That was actually rather smooth.
Shit.
You're getting better.
That is wild. Wow. Here's like keep going with it.
If you want to, just don't wreck. I probably might get the dingo out and follow you. I might get that out and follow you. Okay, I think she's rolling. Oh, now the question is, can I get in? Oh no! Okay, I think we're good. Hope I didn't stop recording there.
rolling when I give it the beans.
Okay.
I can feel it go. Arr!
All right.
Okay, it's rolling.
Okay.
Watch your feet down here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Rolling.
Okay.
Watch your feet down here. All right, 3, 2, 1. No? Okay. I can feel it going. Arr!
Yeah, the footage is there, but
All right. You want a drag race? You want a drag race?
yes.
Okay. Let's go putt over down to the other side.
You reckon we can start at that end so if we overrun it's just grass?
That's not a bad option. I'll meet you there. Okay. We need like a rock or something so I can throw it in the air. Hold on, let me grab something real quick. I got an idea. What's up? What's up?
Oh, your brake light works.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only thing that works because it's independent of the other system. I'm thinking when I throw this in the air and it lands, we go. Ready? Okay. Hey. Holy sh- No way! No way! Wow! I wasn't even giving it the full beat! Okay, we gotta do that again, but a rolling start, I think.
Rolling start?
Yeah. Come around the corner, and as soon as you get on the straightaway, go! Oh my god! Oh my god! No! No! Tried and true! Damn it! You absolute legend! Dingo, you're gonna need some help then. Woo! Oh man! There! Let's come up on the shade up over there! Oh, I can't get out. Ah. Ugh. Wow!
I cannot believe how fun.
And I'm So we're taking a moment to have some lunch, and I happen to look off my peripheral vision. That looks familiar. And one of these are missing on the sprocket hub on the trike. Okay, we're switching it up. Blaze is out there on the Dingo. All right, Bandit, got you all repaired up. Let's get you going. You and me, old timer. There you go. these. Issue. There's no brake. No, what I was saying earlier about like you can barely feel the pads, I'm fully maxed out here. I think I gotta readjust it. I got this one though, and I got the tire. I know.
Okay. Not weird.
What's that?
Lower back a little.
It's on this side.
Yeah, I know. Roll it back a little.
Oh!
Oh boy.
Okay, we're done.
All right.
We are done. No wonder why it was looking so run and squished.
Do you think it might be okay for one drag?
We should probably find out.
Okay.
Do you want to do for the start and then a rolling start?
Yeah.
I want to get two and two like we did. Grab that thingamadoohickey right there, that pine cone. I'm just gonna baby it. Okay. I do not know how long that has. That is a burst.
Really?
Yeah. So
does that mean that it's worn too thin then?
it probably is, or it could be a bad reaction with the heat.
Oh.
This is a different material too. It's not PVC. Dude, that thumper sounds so cool passing by the way.
I love how much it feels.
The left one's not even effective, which is the weird part.
So, when we do this, the
think we're having a little too much fun. Okay. Ready? I guess I will have to be. It's pretty much what agriculture or the farmers use in underwater pipes, you know? That's good to know though, at least. Yeah. It's only had 2 parades, a couple car shows running around, and now out here. So probably about 2 hours, 3 hours on them maybe. Oh well, they're cheap.
I'm assuming it's just to inflate the tires, slide the old one off, new one on.
Probably. Yeah, deflate and then pull, push a new one on. Yep. All right, let's do the rolling start. And then, alright, I gotta sit for a minute. Oh my god!
Kill switch works.
Well, at least your kill switch works. I probably could have shut it off, but it's just one of those. I can't.
It's a wild feeling once it, like, you hold it straight enough, it finally hooks on.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Holy shit.
Okay, hull bolts are still present and accounted for at least. No, it's I decided, f it, I'll hold it for a little while longer. Then I knew I won, so I let off. I'm thinking, oh wait, I don't have a brake. I'm still going fast, and I'm thinking, oh wait, I can't stop. I can't turn. I can't sway to the side because I'll probably hit the curves. I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm on the inside. Oh shit, oh shit. So I decided to go long ways and then go in the caress.
Yeah, like, I was already kind of planning on you possibly sliding into the outside lane.
Yeah. No, I was kind of expecting not to go around and say, all right, I'll go in the tulips. But at least it's not coarse gravel or anything like that. It actually did okay out here.
Yeah.
Oh, woo! Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have some people.
Yeah, dude, this thing hits the RPM limit almost instantly.
Yeah.
When you're off the line.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh.
This is about 32, and we're just now learning this is about the same, but we're not giving it the full beans on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one has an ungoverned motor. This one's still got the governor in it. The internals on that one can probably take a little bit more than this, but the flywheel on this can go a lot harder, but I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, you guys should put in a hot lap.
What's that?
You guys should put in a hot lap.
Yeah. No, we kind of had our share and go arounds because this is literally its first time out in the wild like this.
Oh, really?
I've had this for about 6 to 7 years or so. I was curious to see how this would do against this.
Yeah.
and both in a stopping point to a rolling start like we just did. He's got the torque at the beginning, but I've got the top speed at the end.
Okay, so if you go long enough, you'll win. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
That's
awesome.
so fun.
Oh,
Very fun.
yeah, I think we're about done though, because
Yeah, exploded. One of the-
Oh,
Shoot.
yeah, we had to take a intermission earlier because apparently we ejecto-seated one of the hardware. I ran to the store real quick to get it fixed, and then went back out there, and I took a turn because he was on it first, and it's like, oh,
Second crack.
Oh, bummer.
well, that's a second cracker.
It's developing a second one very close to the first. Yeah,
So-
about 2.5 inches ahead.
What's that?
What's that blue strip for?
That's what makes this slide around.
Oh,
If I took these off, it's all power, no traction.
okay.
This one's got an excuse though, because it's got 4 wheels. Oh,
So fun.
Well, that's fun.
that is awesome.
thank you.
Have
Enjoy
fun, you
yourself.
guys.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
You guys have a good rest of your day.
You too.
See, this is actually the nice thing about the people around here, is they're actually really chill and they enjoy it. So, oh, alrighty, well, shit.
As we should get-
It's only 3:37. I think that's probably a good safe stopping point.
All right.
I'm still thankful you got the majority out of this, so that's why I built it, so others can enjoy it. It makes me learn all the other weaknesses, and the nice thing is actually I have another set of these ready to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything, you've fully inspired me to start building one.
I am glad.